Okay, in this demo, I'm going to show you how to put a zipper into your garment and finish the lining side to the zipper so it's nice and clean on the inside. Okay, so this works with any kind of zipper. I'm just going to put in this centered zipper, but you can do this with invisible, lap, whatever. Okay. So the first thing is, this is my garment, okay? It's like a bodice. The red side here indicates your fashion fabric or the outside of the garment. And then if I flip it in, this blue side, that's the inside or the lining part of the garment, okay? Now, this is more of a couture method in the sense that if I was just doing something that was ready to wear, I would go ahead and sew my outside shell, put my zipper in there, and then sew my lining in if I was going to do it. All right. If you're creating a couture garment or a garment that's more made to measure, you want to fit the person perfectly, then one of the last steps you would do is you would put the zipper in. Okay. So the garment would pretty much be made all the way, and then the zipper would go in because you'd want to fit it to the person to know exactly where the closure is going to go. Before you put that in, okay? So that's the method we're doing, more of the made-to-measure method, all right? So, as you can see, I've sewed up my garment, and I've sewn my lining into it, okay? And then here at center back, okay, basically, here's my center back right here on both sides, okay? I'm doing a centered zipper, so I've already pressed in this inch seam allowance, and this is where my center back is on the outside of the garment, okay? And you'll notice that at the neckline, it's not sewn together all the way yet, all right? So again, here's center back. I've left about 1 inch to 1.5 inches open, all right? This allows me to finish off my lining to the length it needs to be once the zipper is in. All right, so again, I sewed my lining in. So here's my neckline. This is a strapless garment, okay? So I sewed my lining in, and on both sides, I stopped about 1.5 inches to 2 inches from center back, okay? That allows me to put my zipper in, no problem, and then again, finish the lining to where it needs to be when I have the zipper in, and then I'll go ahead and hand finish it. All right, so the first step we're going to go do is go ahead and put the zipper in, and when we put the zipper in, it's just going to go on the fashion fabric side, okay? We're not going to attach it through both the lining and the fashion fabric. We're just attaching it to the fashion fabric, the red side of the garment, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are at the machine. I'm going to put the zipper in. Again, this is more about how to finish the lining to the zipper, and so I'm not really going to do a great job of putting the zipper in. I'm just going to put it in as quick as possible so I can show you how to finish the lining to it. All right, here we go. I should probably put a zipper foot in too, but again, just doing this as quick as possible. Okay, so there's one side of the zipper in, and you'll notice it's just going through the fashion fabric. The lining still is unattached. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in the other side of the zipper now. All right, so let's go ahead and put in this other side of the zipper. All right, so there, I've now put in my zipper, and again, it's just going through the fashion layer of fabric, and the lining is not finished yet. Okay, so let's go back to the cutting table. Okay, so here we are. You can see the zipper's in. All right, so now we need to finish the lining to the zipper so it looks nice and clean on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to flip this right side out, or inside out. And basically what we're going to do, so here's our zipper sewn to the fashion fabric. We're now going to take our lining, this edge of the lining, the neckline, it's been pressed under. Now I'm going to press under my center back, okay? Here what I want to make sure I do is I bring the center back to about the center or a little beyond the center of the zipper tape, okay? I don't want to get too close to the teeth because I don't want the zipper pull here, the head of it, to get stuck in the lining as I pull it up. So I want to make sure I'm back at least at the center of the zipper, so right about there. That's where I want it to be, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick press in place. That's what I like. That looks pretty good. And I'll put some pins in there just to hold it in place. Okay, and again, you can do this with an invisible zipper, a lap zipper, and like I'm doing, a centered zipper. They're all done pretty much the same way. You're going to put your zipper into the fashion fabric first, and then you'll finish the lining to it. Okay, and let's do the other side. So I'm going to turn under that seam allowance on the lining. Make sure it's not going beyond the center of the zipper. That looks good. I'll give it a quick press in place. You don't necessarily have to press it. You could just fold it under and pin it. Go. Alright, so now we're ready to go ahead and hand stitch this closed, okay? So remember my neckline, I left it open for about 1.5 inches. We're going to hand tack that closed, and then we'll just hand tack down our center back, catching our lining just to the zipper tape. We don't want to go through, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I have my needle and thread. I'm start right here. Now this is just a bodice. I could have a skirt attached to this. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do a hidden slip stitch. Okay. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch a little bit of the zipper tape, and then I'm going to travel through the crease of the lining for about 1/2 inch or so. Your thread will catch on anything and everything. There we go. And catch it and go through. So again, I'm traveling through the crease of the lining, and I'm catching just a little bit of my zipper tape, and then going right back into the crease of the lining. And hopefully I'm not going through to the fashion fabric side. Typically when you're doing something like this, you have a lot of interfacing, or you have interfacing, and so it adds a little more, a couple more layers in between the fashion fabric and your thread or your stitching, so you're less likely to catch it. This is just 2 thin layers of muslin. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, I'm coming up to the neckline. Okay, so there's center back. I've stitched it and I've caught the lining to the zipper tape. And now I'm going to come across here and close up this neckline. And I always like to drop my lining just a little below the fashion fabric. And I'm just going to keep doing that hidden slip stitch, traveling through the crease of the lining, catching just into the seam allowance of my fashion fabric. And there we go. And now we'll just tie it off. Okay, there it is. All finished. So I've cut my lining now to the zipper tape and finished the neckline. And that's what the front of it looks like. Okay, so let's quickly do the other side. And we'll speed this up so it goes a little quicker. Okay, so the lining has been finished off to the zipper. And there it is. Okay. Okay, so there it is. That's how you finish. Let me turn this inside out. Your lining to your zipper. Okay, and that way you have clean edges on the outside, obviously, and on the inside. All right.